What's up, guys? It's Jake from Response on Play. We're at the regional here in Dallas, Texas. I'm with the champion of the standard event,
Andrew Porat.
Andrew, what character did you decide to play for this event?
So I play Rodan, which is like my safety blanket because I was going to play Reiner, but there was an errata to him a week before the event, and I played Rodan last event. And so that was the only thing I could think of in time. Yeah,
I do feel like Rodan seems to touch your hands quite often, and I mean, obviously you play very well with him. This isn't the first time you've seen success on Rodan. Take me through some of your early matchups. Was there anything that early day in Swiss that you were worried about switching back to Rodan?
Yeah, I mean, I think in Swiss I got round one was a bye for everybody had a bye.
Absolutely.
Round two, I paired into George Rangel, who's the GOAT, the world champ, and he was on pony. And that was scary because it's George, and I lost game one. And then game three, checked a bunch of twos, and I got a free win. So that was very scary, probably the scariest game I had in day one. And then the rest we were kind of rolling, I had one tie with Gavin, and then I got him back in top four. But he got me with the frenzy keyword, and I honestly forgot it existed. And he got like 5-5 on some move, and I was just like, damn, he got me.
Yeah, frenzy will sneak up if you're blocking a lot. So the event seemed to go over well. I know the heat got to a lot of people. Did it really play a factor in some of your games, as it got hotter? Were there any points where you're just like, man, I cannot think because of the heat?
I was literally sweating the whole time because of the heat. But they had the fans at table one. So once I started doing well, I started getting the fans.
When you're winning, you get the VIP treatment. They make sure you're nice and cool at these events.
Yeah. They put the weenies not next to the fans.
Yeah, as for us that were at the bottom tables, we got no fans. Was there any special tech or anything that you prepared last minute? I know you said you drifted back to Rodan, but were there any changes you made for the current meta?
I got like a little bit of a nice moment at the end, like very end of the match of game 3 with Nate. He played Megalomania. That was a card I played last event. And I decided it sucks. And so all of the other people on Rodan were kind of like on it or sideboarding it. And I was adamant. I'm like, this card sucks. And so when he played it, I had to cancel for it. And I didn't even use it because I was like, I'm going to mod Megalomania. So that was the only change. I took out like Megalomania and I put in the new combination salvo card, which I didn't see anybody playing. And it's like crazy. It's like 7 for 7 base with powerful 4. So like all day one, people would be like, I'd like play some wimpy move, take 4 or 5. Like play another one, take 4 or 5. And I'm like, oh, you're at like 11?
Yeah.
Game over.
Game over. Combination salvo, baby.
Yeah. I think that's like honestly one of the things that I do really well that I think people could learn from is like saving your higher difficulty attacks for the end of the string and playing the easier ones at the beginning. Because like intuitively people think if you play a bunch of wimps, you're not gonna have anything better. So like you can like really create some interesting dynamic like lines if you start with the worst attacks and see what happens. Yeah.
Not having to start with your big quote unquote openers is really interesting. Saving those for the end of the kill is actually a really neat tech.
Yeah.
And in Rodan it feels a little bit more possible, especially when you build out pretty heavily. Is there a point where you got pressured so heavy that you had to play on a lower foundation count, or were you kind of just typical Rodan, build out for a while and then just run the game?
Yeah, I got a couple turn 2s yesterday.
Okay.
The exact thing I'm talking about, like play heat tackle, get a momentum, and like being able to cheat your checks, you can kind of take those greedier lines, right? And then in the finals, game 3, going second, I draw my hand. I have 0 foundations, mulligan 6, and I drew like 1 or 2 foundations, and I thought I was over.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I drew into some good ones off the go second mulligan, and that saved me. But yeah, that was the worst build I had of the entire event. Going second in game 3 of finals. Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough. And obviously, it didn't matter.
No, fortunately.
So, take me through day 2. It's kind of a varied spread.
Yeah.
Was there anybody in particular you were looking at, like, I cannot play them in top 8 or I'm going to have a problem?
The only deck I was scared of was the Order Mitch deck that whooped my butt in top 4 of the last event, which my really close friend Elijah was on, and he unfortunately lost his win in, which was the best possible outcome for me, because that deck was my like nightmare matchup. Other than that, honestly, the spread was pretty, like, the stars were pretty aligned for me to like win. I just had to execute. Unfortunately, I was able to get it done. Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of talked about some changes you made going into this event.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you were on in this event that you are kind of now thinking, maybe I put too much stock in this card, or maybe a couple deck building changes or tips for anybody looking to replicate your list?
Yeah, I mean, I played 24% attacks, and I don't think anybody like does that kind of style where, like, if you're playing a character, you can like cheat your checks and draw cards. Like, you don't need to play as many attacks. Like, how you lose a lot of games is bad builds early. So like, I think more like a tip that I follow is like trying to lower your attack percentage as much as possible to increase your consistency. And like, people would be like, oh, well, you're never going to do anything early. But I was like, I got a couple turn 2s with 24% attacks. You know, like, so I think people, like, you can usually get away with it if you build a good deck with draw or like something like that. For my list, it's pretty tight. Like, you know, there's always a couple things you could change here or there. Like, Nate was playing this destroy for 3 damage card that looked really good against me. But yeah, no, I mean, I encourage people to play more cards. Like, I was playing 94 cards. Most people play like 60s, 70s.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, don't be afraid to like load up your deck. This is the only card game where you can do that. Like, take advantage of it. It's like kind of funny to me that you can do it in this game, right? Like, it's kind of stupid. Yeah.
Because I remember when everybody was playing the 100 card Nick Reagan deck, and that deck had to get hit. That deck was wild good.
Exactly.
So, regional champ advice: play 90 cards, play 100 cards. More cards, more good.
Like I was playing like 18 3-diffs in my deck. Like,
that's a lot of 3-diffs.
Yeah, exactly. But you can do it if you play a lot of 100 cards.
That's fair. When you have 14 foundations, checking for a 3 or 2 foundation feels fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's like, be a little more open-minded about playing these bigger decks with more consistency. And unfortunately, now a lot of the games played out of the discard pile, and so cycling feels really bad. And so like that was like you don't want to cycle anymore. So for me, that's like, especially with Rodan, where I got incubating and like all these things, like, it's very like, there's advantage to me not cycling. I get more options and I get more knowledge and like, yeah.
Speaking of cycling, that your finals game.
Yep.
You want to run me through what you were thinking on this best of 3? I know your opponent took the first game.
Yes.
You ended up taking second pretty handedly.
Yeah.
It was a good game. I know a lot of us in the room were talking about, we expected this Rodan mirror match kind of to take 4, 5, 6 hours. And we were actually kind of shocked. Game 3, it looked like it could be anybody's game. You want to kind of run me through what you were thinking as the final cards were kind of coming off
for game 3?
For game 3.
Yeah, game 3, I kind of like got to a board state where I wasn't gonna die unless he did like the most insane attack string.
Mhm.
and he played 6 or 7 attacks, and I full blocked every one of them,
Yep.
which was crazy.
That's a lot of blocking.
Yeah.
But Rodan,
Yeah.
he does block.
So I was nervous that turn, and like he did like a Botan's coaching after looking at my hand with Tri-Gravity Beam, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So fortunately, I had to cancel for it, and then he built, and then I knew it was over because it was like he played so many attacks on one turn. He used everything. Like
Right.
I just gotta not lose. Like
Yeah,
don't do anything stupid.
Just have to sit there and kind of like meter the game, make sure that.
Yeah. Like I would have tried to kill him if I drew a great hand, but I didn't. So it was like I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit. Yeah.
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 Sometimes you
Slow
don't really.
victory.
Exactly. You can win the game just by going, I'm not going to interact outside of when you force me to.
Yeah, exactly.
Which just kind of feel like a great option, especially when you're not limited in time. Were there any other games in your top 8 run that you felt like, yeah, I can just kind of sit here all day?
I mean, against the King Ghidorah and top 4 Gavin,
Mm-hmm.
like we played in Swiss. There is literally not a point in me trying to kill him because that character is impossible to kill for my deck.
Absolutely.
My whole deck is like killing people with big, huge moves, and he's like, "Oh, I'll take 3." So, I'm just reviewing attacks, like sideboarding out attacks.
Sideboarding out attacks.
Yeah, sideboarded out like 5 attacks for game 2.
That's insanity.
That's how I win the matchup. By just surviving. So like, yeah, unfortunately, like this isn't a mill deck, but when you go against decks where you can't. Like you have that as plan B and against like other Void Rodans, like Nate was playing 69 cards. I was playing 94. Yeah, nice, right? Like I'm winning the
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
The onus is on him to win the game.
Absolutely.
If we're tied, I'm winning the game.
Absolutely, because I mean you're not running out of cards at 94.
Like I cycled once against him. That was the only time I cycled in the whole 2-day event. So like
That's an incredible feat in and of itself.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of wisdom for anyone else trying to pick up Rodan? If you're wanting to play Rodan for an event, what would you say is the key thing that people really just need to really lock in that you don't feel maybe that everyone is taking as the obvious advice?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people will they'll treat their character like Bearded Titan and commit him to pass checks. I don't think I ever did that unless it was an early turn and I checked bad. Because peaking your top 2 is like so insanely important. Like
absolutely.
Yeah, like because there's so much draw in our game that like, oh, that's the card. One of these 2 cards is the card that can win me the game. If I would just check it, I maybe don't win the game. So like doing that for me and like seeing Genkai's guidance was like, I now changed my mind from how do I deal with this attack to how do I get that to my hand.
Absolutely.
And like that's better for the actual game than this form, right? And so I think for people like, be really thoughtful about what are the key cards for winning the game, right? And not just like, oh, I need to block every move. Like the move I'm in is 5 damage, I should block it. It's like, if I see like a Genkai's guidance, I shouldn't block it. Like taking 5 is fine because later I'll have Genkai's guidance for a bigger move. Yeah, so I think for people who want to play Rodan, like he doesn't have a lot of health, so you got to like spend it really wisely, especially using the knowledge you can get with your character card. Yeah,
absolutely. That's solid advice. How would you say that you felt about this event overall? If there was something that really stood out that you liked about the weekend, just overall in general, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I had a blast this weekend just playing. I think it was really well run. Like I remember when we used to play, and there used to be like a random lunch break because the rounds didn't pair or something would go wrong. And now everything's pretty organized. So I want to give some props to the team, at UVS and the people who put on the event. It was really smoothly run. And so, yeah, I want to just give some praise for that rather than complain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're kind of like in in a point where you kind of know what you're going to expect on like matches running. I feel like everything kind of ran on time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do feel like current day events are, even from when I started playing, quite a bit different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if there was one thing that if you could wave a magic wand that you would change about the weekend, and you can't say the heat, because that's the easy answer.
No, this weekend was a blast. I had so much fun playing Universus. I got to play my retro deck for fun against some people, like pick up games, and that was so I got to like scratch that itch. I got to like do well in the event. So honestly, I don't need to change much. You know, I'll take
The
what
perfect
I got.
event.
Yeah, I'll take what I got.
Well,
yeah.
Take what you got. Indeed, you did take it all. You won the whole event. And for that, congratulations, Andrew.
Yeah.
You're a phenomenal
Thank you, bro.
player, and I appreciate you giving me this time and talking to me. I look forward to probably doing it again, seeing as you are, like I said, a very great player, man. I appreciate you.
Take care.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.